Welcome to Fenway Park and Northeastern University's 2021 commencement ceremony. We are excited to have you here for this important day. Before we begin, we want to take a moment to review some important health and safety protocols. We remind you that you must sit only in your own seat. Restrooms are available throughout the concourse. As you travel to and from your seats, please maintain physical distance from others. Masks are required at all times. For your safety, please take a moment to locate the two exits closest to you. If an evacuation is required, please proceed calmly to the closest available exit and follow the direction of the Fenway Park officials and emergency personnel. Thank you for your cooperation. Enjoy the ceremony. The university faculty will now take their places.
Five, four, three, two, one, zero.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're climbing, we're soaring. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away, come and fly away. Come and fly away with me.
Would all degree candidates and their guests please rise as you are able? Chief Marshal Professor Jeffrey A. Bourne will now lead the procession of the President's Party.
Please remain standing as the American flag color guard of the Army ROTC presents the colors and for the national anthem as led by Annabelle Eve Kearney from the College of Arts, Media, and Design.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing. I welcome Alexander Levering Kern, Executive Director of the Center for Spirituality, Dialogue, and Service, to the podium for the introduction of the invocation.
As people of many faiths and secular traditions from around the globe, please join with these extraordinary graduates who will offer prayers. From our Hindu community, Shriya Srinivas. From our Jewish community, Tali Glickman. From our Protestant community, Albert Lee. From our Buddhist community, Christian Hardy. From our Roman Catholic community, Carly D'Antonio. From our Muslim community, Raman Raza.
Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve badrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings experience prosperity, and may none in the world suffer.
Yehi ratzon mefanecha, Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu, shetolichenu l'shalom v'tatzidenu l'shalom, v'tadrichenu l'shalom, v'tismechenu l'shalom v'tagienu l'michoz chafetzenu l'chaim, u'letzimcha l'shalom. V'tatzilenu mikach kol oyev ve'orev, v'listim v'chayot ra'ot b'derech, u'mikol minei prayanot hamitragshot lavo le'olam, v'titnenu l'chenu l'chesed rachamim, v'necha v'nei kol ra'enu, ki el shomei tefillah v'tachanun ata, Baruch Adonai Shomei Tefillah. May it be your will, Lord our God and God of our ancestors, that you guide our footsteps towards peace and make us reach our desired destination for life, gladness, and peace. May you send blessings in our handiwork and grant us grace, kindness, and mercy. May you hear the sound of our humble request. Blessed are you, Lord, who hears prayer.
Heavenly Father, as we graduate today, we give all the glory to you. Knowledge, creativity, and learning, they all ultimately come from you. Through this strange year, we have witnessed your grace. Though we may not understand why we have been through a pandemic or political unrest or social injustice, perhaps even what we will do with our lives, your ways are higher than ours, and so we can rest despite the uncertainty. Almighty God, you love each one of us more than we can fathom. We praise you for every blessing we have received, both known to us and yet unknown. And I lift all of this up in the precious name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
May all beings have happiness and its causes. May all beings be free of dissatisfaction and its causes. May all beings never be separated from bliss without suffering. May all beings be in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and anger. Practice loving kindness to overcome anger, compassion to overcome cruelty, sympathetic joy to overcome hatred, and non-attachment to overcome prejudice.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Lord, as we close this chapter, I say this final prayer from St. Thomas Aquinas, the patron saint of students. Come, Holy Spirit, grant me a penetrating mind to understand, a retentive memory, method and ease in learning, the lucidity to comprehend, and abundant grace in expressing myself. Guide the beginning of my work, direct its progress, and bring it to successful completion. Amen.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house. Still, treat each guest honorably. Allah may be clearing you out for some new delight. Be grateful for whatever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. As we look forward to our futures, may we meet each challenge, each success, every high and every low graciously as our guest. And may it be a pleasant stay. one that is fruitful, and one where we may constantly be humbled to learn and to love and to grow. Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. I'm David Madigan, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, and I am absolutely delighted to welcome you to Northeastern University's 2021 commencement exercises. Graduates, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Northeastern, I want to extend congratulations to you, the class of 2021. This is truly a special day, a day made particularly meaningful by the challenges we all faced together this past year. You, our graduates, met every one of those challenges with courage, with good humor, and perseverance. Well done. To our faculty and staff, by guiding today's graduates to this moment and adapting to new ways of working during the pandemic, you have helped shape and inspire tomorrow's leaders and innovators. And on my personal behalf and on behalf of all the graduates, thank you. As we officially begin today's ceremony, we are first joined by Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker and Boston's Mayor Kim Janey. Both Governor Baker and Mayor Janey are champions of higher education and of Northeastern, and they would like to offer their congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thanks very much to Dave Madigan for that introduction. And let me just say, first of all, congratulations to all the graduates, and especially to their families and to their friends and to everybody else who had something to do with getting them from where they were to where they are now. And I especially want to congratulate them for working their way through what was a profoundly difficult year because of the pandemic. Virtually everything about what you expected your college experience to be was turned upside down in March of 2020, and it's pretty much stayed that way ever since. I do think the fact that you get to have your ceremony at Fenway Park is actually kind of a cool thing, but I'm sure if you had to trade that for everything else that happened over the course of the last year, you'd probably be perfectly happy to do it back at your dorm. I also want to congratulate President Joseph Ayoun, somebody I've gotten to know over the course of almost the past 10 years here, who's done a terrific job of leading this wonderful institution through this very difficult time. To all of you, I just want to say Northeastern is really a crown jewel in the crown of colleges and universities that makes this Commonwealth so very special. And to all of the graduates today, I hope you find a way to make a great life and find purpose here in the Commonwealth of Mass. But if you don't, I hope you make a great life and find purpose wherever it is your future takes you. Good luck.
Hello, Northeastern. Thank you for including me in this special moment with you and your families today. My father graduated from Northeastern in 1970, so I feel a special connection to all of you. On behalf of the City of Boston, I want to congratulate you all on a job well done. Your perseverance and resilience in completing your co-ops and your coursework under extremely difficult circumstances should be applauded. And I know this wasn't how you thought your last year and a half would go, but your commitment to staying safe helped our city weather the storm. I know that collectively you hail from all 50 states and more than 100 countries. So I also want to say congratulations and thank you to all of your friends and family who are watching right now at home and all over the world. I wish you all the best in the future. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Baker and Mayor Janey. Good morning. I'm Rich DeMore, Chair of Northeastern's Board of Trustees. On behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome everybody to Northeastern's 2021 commencement exercises. Graduates, congratulations, you've earned this day. Before we continue, I wanted to share, I live right by Fenway Park, and I thought I knew all the organ music that had been played here. But earlier today, I heard something that I had never heard. I thought it was some kind of improvisation, so I had to do some research to get to the bottom of it, and fortunately, we did.
Okay, you've got about 5 minutes before you're scheduled to go on. Your robe's right here. I'll come back and get you when it's time. But in this room, whatever you do, try not to touch anything.
Hey, absolutely. No problem. Ooh. Ready, pause? It's been a while. Let's see if I can still do it. Whoops.
Ooh, that's rough.
Ah, I think I've got it. Here we go.
Hold on.
What's that?
Where's that coming from?
Hang on, guys. I'll be right back.
That's it.
Stacy's mom has got it going on. I'm in love with Stacy's mom.
Woo-hoo! Yeah!
No.
That's not bad.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hit 5, please?
Ah!
Ooh. I don't know who this is, but this guy's great.
Ah, I'm starving.
Excuse me, coming through. So good.
So good.
Not good. Oh, wrong way.
Oh, yeah.
What are you guys doing?
He did it.
It's my honor to introduce the organist in residence, President Joseph Allen.
Thank you. Listen, trust me, it was pause, and he's in the doghouse for the rest of the day. Good morning, everyone. Are you cold? A little bit? So we're going to move a little bit, but on your chair. So first of all, let me start by saying something important right at the start. Class of 21, you did it. Congratulations. It's wonderful to see all of you here in person. And I know that some of us and some of you are joining us virtually. Rest assured that you are here with us too. We feel your presence on this momentous day. In fact, we have some members of the Northeastern family joining us from across the globe. A special welcome to graduates and families from India, Venezuela, Nigeria, and many more. They're watching you, enjoying every moment. I also want to offer special thanks to a small and mighty group of our golden graduates, alumni who graduated more than 50 years ago. I know that you are all vaccinated and ready to celebrate. Golden graduates, We salute you. Please give them a round of applause, a big one. This ceremony is a metaphor for the past year at Northeastern. Yes, there are restrictions and limitations, many beyond our control, but we found a way. That's the Northeastern spirit. We traverse boundaries, we overcome obstacles, and we believe that every problem has a solution. I want to thank the entire Northeastern community, especially our new graduates, you, for making this past year successful. And now, graduates, please rise. Turn to your parents, friends, spouses, partners, and family members. Without them, you will not be here today. And a special thank you to all the mothers on this Mother's Day weekend. Let's give them a big round of applause. Graduates, please thank the Northeastern faculty and staff who supported you on every step of your journey. Many of them are here today. Give them a round of applause. And now it's your turn. Please thank yourselves for persevering, for living through a strange and uncertain time, and for staying true to your dreams. We applaud you. Please be seated. One phase of your education comes to a close today. The rest of your education is just beginning. We all are lifelong learners. Now, how many of you have been at Fenway Park before? Raise your hand. Okay. I have to tell you, this is the second time only I've been on the field. About 10 years ago, I was asked to throw out the first pitch at a Red Sox game. To be honest, I had practiced for a full week. But when I got here, under all those lights, the pressure was on. I hoped for the best. My pitch made it over to the plate. I was in no danger of getting a major league contract. You're not supposed to smile. Then something magical happened. After my mediocre pitch landed in the catcher's mitt, there was a huge roar of applause from the stands. I realized in that moment the power of Husky pride. Let me be clear. The cheers were not for me. They were for Northeastern and all that our university stands for. So no matter where you go, from Boston to Buenos Aires to Bangkok, the Northeastern family will emerge to cheer you on. Sometimes when you least expect it. At most commencement ceremonies, the job of the president is to make bold pronouncements, to use lofty language that inspires, to speak in grandiose terms about the future. But this is not most commencement, and this is no ordinary time. So instead of offering a series of cliches about hopes, dreams, and possibilities, I would like to share a few simple stories. Stories that encapsulate, for me, the enduring lessons of the last year. Lessons that I will never forget. Here is a vivid memory I haven't shared before. It was October. The weather was getting cold, and the pandemic was worsening. We were at the leading edge of last year's deadly winter surge. It was a Wednesday, and I was in my office alone, In fact, the whole building was largely devoid of people. A sense of emptiness was apparent. But then I heard music, a saxophone, keyboards, bass guitar, and drums, and it was fantastic. I assumed that someone down the hall had Spotify cranked out, but no one was around. Then I realized the sounds were coming from outside the building. I was determined to get to the bottom of this musical mystery. So I ventured outside and began searching around the building. I followed the sounds until they led me into an alley behind Columbus Avenue. Sure enough, I discovered a live jazz quartet jamming in a little courtyard beside a picket fence. I've listened to a lot of jazz in my life, and these musicians were captivating. And then, just when I thought that this magical moment couldn't get any better, I noticed that the drummer was wearing a Northeastern sweatshirt. "Go Huskies," I said under my breath. I later found out that the drummer's name is Zeke Martin, and he teaches in our music department. That semester, Zeke had found a way to teach his students on drums, spaced 12 feet apart in Ryder Hall. But he couldn't play in jazz clubs or other live venues. So Zeke and his bandmates began playing that day for a simple reason. This was their passion. And a deadly pandemic wasn't going to stifle their passion or silence their instruments. They didn't realize anyone was listening. I looked up and saw people opening their windows in amazement. An NUPD officer standing nearby gave a thumbs up. What Zeke and his bandmates showed us that day is something I hope we can all remember. The times of greatest challenge demand that we add an extra measure of purpose to our passion. That is when you can make your music possible. And in doing so, you will surely bring joy to others along the way. A college education has always involved passing tests, but your class has to be the most tested in history. Of course, I'm talking about COVID tests. Raise your hand if you took more than 50 tests. More than 70. Well, I'm going to confess something. I loved getting tested at Cabot. Frankly, I didn't think I would. But that space, with its quirky music, beautiful banners, and terrific staff, was truly special. I saw many of you there every week, armed with your swabs, and more importantly, your desire to keep our campus safe, to protect the pack. 2 weeks ago, we surpassed 1 million COVID tests on campus. Yeah, we want to thank you for that. Those 1 million tests may seem like mundane acts, but they represent something much more profound. Every time you got tested, you were engaged in both an individual act and a collective promise. This promise often involved sacrifices, limiting your social circles, pausing some of your favorite activities, foregoing visits from family and friends. Managing COVID on campus presented a new social compact. You agreed to take certain steps. In exchange, you paved the way for a successful, uninterrupted school year. Throughout all these challenges, you had one guiding star, your desire to be together. The lesson is clear. None of us can live our lives in isolation. We all crave the power of human connection. We all are part of the same human family. What we do individually, good or bad, affects our shared journey. Building and nourishing a community requires millions of individual acts that culminate in collective power. This power goes far beyond reopening Northeastern. Exercise it well, and you can open the world for all humankind. One of the most consequential events of the past year took place many miles from here. And at Northeastern, opportunities to learn and engage can come from anywhere. On May 25th, the tragic murder of George Floyd ignited something powerful in the US and around the world. While walking along the Boston Common a few days later, I experienced firsthand the nonviolent protest that dominated the city that night. I was struck by the sea of faces of every color and background who seized the urgency of that moment. For a second, I actually forgot we were in the midst of a global pandemic. COVID seemed distant in the face of this fierce new urgency. The fight for social justice and racial equality could not wait. And that's an important lesson for us all. Historical moments will happen. And when they arrive, we don't get to wait for other crises to settle down. You did not wait. We need to take responsibility in the moment for making the world better. In the coming months and years, many of you will take the lead in eradicating systemic racism. And you will be the champions of other causes as well: climate change, economic inequality, food insecurity. You will create algorithms that reduce implicit bias. And you will bring diverse voices into fields such as medicine and engineering. And yes, your generation will help us prevent the next global pandemic. Your job as graduates, as leaders, is to seize these moments when they happen. It doesn't matter what else is already unfolding. When history knocks on your door, answering will be your generation's highest calling. Your opportunity to bend the world and forge a more just society. The heart and soul of a Northeastern education is experience. And it's fair to say that your class has had an experience that you could never imagine. It hasn't been easy. You had to adjust to changes in your classes, your research, your co-ops, your social lives. You had to change plans and cancel trips. But there have been moments of grace, moments of joy, moments of connection, moments that came out of nowhere, like the sound of jazz music rising through the air on a cold, gray day. A beautiful reminder that we all have the capacity to persevere, and we all have the talent to create. When this crisis fades, and it will, I hope these are some of the memories you carry with you forever. I often say that your Northeastern education prepares you to face the unknown. Your class, perhaps more than any other, is prepared for whatever comes next, for any possible unknown. I wish you the best of luck. Your resilience and your infinite spirit will guide our world to new heights. We are truly in your hands. Graduates, I salute you. Thank you, and thank you.
I'm Ken Henderson, Northeastern's Chancellor and Senior Vice President for Learning. At Northeastern, students are at the centre of all that we do, so I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the class marshals from each of our colleges. Natalie Rose Perry, graduating from the College of Engineering with a degree of Bachelor of Science in Bioengineering. Matthew Francis McLaughlin, graduating from the Damore McKim School of Business with a degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Hee-Young Chang, graduating from the Bouvet College of Health Sciences with a degree of Bachelor of Science with a major in Pharmacy. Nupur Neoji, graduating from the Curie College of Computer Sciences with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Computer Science. Jamie Lee Ryan, graduating from the College of Arts, Media and Design with a degree of Bachelor of Arts with a major in Media and Screen Studies. Anne Reed Tucker, graduating from the College of Science with a degree of Bachelor of Science with a major in Cell and Molecular Biology. And Carol William Cooper Meakin, graduating from the College of Social Sciences and Humanities with a degree of Bachelor of Science with a major in Politics, Philosophy and Economics. It is now with great pleasure that I introduce our student speaker, Nathan Lewis Hostert. Nathan, from Wichita, Kansas, graduates today with a Bachelor of Arts with a major in Political Science and a minor in Law and Public Policy. During his time at Northeastern, Nathan has demonstrated an unparalleled commitment to serving others as a student body president, a Husky ambassador, a resident assistant, and as a service learning teaching assistant. Most recently, Nathan volunteered at vaccine clinics in high-risk communities as a member of the Boston Medical Corps. His co-ops also centered around public service at city, state, and federal levels. For his final co-op, Nathan worked on the policy team of Massachusetts Senate President Karen Spilka, a Northeastern graduate herself. He plans to continue working on Senator Spilka's team after graduation. Please welcome your classmate, Nathan Lewin Hostert, to the stage.
When do we get back to normal? So that is a question that I think we've all asked way too often over this past year. We've asked it to the internet as we've endlessly scrolled through the CDC's website. We've asked it to Northeastern as we've wondered when we can get back to our spring fests and our club sports games and our husky hunts. And we've asked it to ourselves as we've stared at the ceiling in our apartments, listening to the Dua Lipa album and wondering if we will ever go out again. But it's also a question that doesn't really make much sense. Because honestly, what the hell is normal? Even before the mess that 2020 was, we were already a generation that was used to change. We have revolted against so many of the ideas that we grew up with, becoming more comfortable talking about things like mental health, sexuality, and privilege. We have already accepted that we'll have to spend our whole lives fighting a different once-in-a-lifetime public health crisis, climate change. And over the past 4 to 5 years, our lives have changed even more. Don't believe me? Ask yourself these questions. Did you have TikTok on your phone when you first came to Northeastern? How did you used to feel about the royal family? And when were you first told that you were on mute? But on a more serious note, think back about who you were when you first came to this university. For me, that person was an insecure gay kid who stayed in the closet all throughout high school in a socially conservative community in Kansas, and who didn't know if he would ever find meaning in life. And now, think about everything that you've accomplished here and how that shaped who you are today. For me, that person is a less insecure gay kid who's found purpose in public service through co-ops at the city, state, and federal levels of government, and who loves biking to parks and dancing with friends. In our time as Northeastern students, we have traveled the globe, serving in refugee camps in Greece, studying inequality in South Africa, and researching international law in Geneva. We have learned to appreciate the value of different cultures, while also realizing that innate humanity that ties us all together. Thanks to our co-ops, we know what it's like to search for jobs, and then to get rejected from some of those jobs, and then to feel that real fulfillment that can come from our work. We have found mentors who have helped us do everything from finding out where the copy machine is, to figuring out what we want to do with our careers. And we've learned what it's like to have a team be counting on us, and then to live up to those expectations. We have also given back to communities around the globe. We've taught school kids about mental health and well-being. We've supported water infrastructure in developing countries, and we volunteered at huge events like the Boston Marathon. We know that it's not enough just to be good workers. We have to be good citizens as well. And last but not least, in our classes, we've had tough conversations with our classmates that have changed our minds about everything from economics to medicine. We have stayed up until 3 a.m. at some of the worst, but also some of the best late-night study sessions. And we have gotten some truly, truly awful grades on projects and tests that we really thought we would do better on. But hey, we still made it here today. And then we get to this past year. Before I go any further, I think it's important that we acknowledge how so much of what we went through over this past year sucks. Our world has had to endure a pandemic that has taken millions of lives and disproportionately impacted communities of color. Every single one of us has been hurt by this pandemic in our own way, but because of COVID-19, none of us could spend our senior year spending time with our family members and with our friends without feeling like we might be giving them a life-threatening disease. It sucks that we had to cancel our co-ops and our study abroads, that we had to deal with the stress and anxiety of virtual classes, and also that we had to cope with that the real or feared loss of people that we love. That sucks, and you shouldn't feel bad for thinking that. And yet, there have also been some true silver linings from this past year. We have learned how to feel close to our family members and our friends, even when we are miles apart. I probably invited a lot of you to my Zoom dance parties, but I will be honest, a lot of you did not show up. We learned that we really can do our work from our own homes, even if it is really hard some days. And we have learned the absolutely crucial importance of having a school-wide meme collective. Even bigger than that, though, over this past year, we have seen firsthand the effects of things like science denialism, of large-scale mismanagement, and of institutional racism. But we know that none of those were new problems. Over the past year, we were just forced to reckon more collectively with all of the flaws in that normal that we were used to. What an opportunity we have then to go out and to fix those problems that are so deeply ingrained in our policies, in our communities, in our industries, and also in ourselves. We have been through so much over this past year, and we will not let that be for nothing. So, whether you are a computer scientist or a life scientist, an artist or an engineer, a social worker or a small business owner, this is our chance. We have got to go fix this. And quite honestly, I can't think of a better group of people to go do it. So, let's take all of our Northeastern experiences, along with that network of peers and mentors and friends that we made here, and let's go make this world a better place. Let's make a new normal that we can all be proud of. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you, Nathan. That was awesome. Here at Northeastern, we constantly innovate to make the world better. Today, it is my honor and privilege to introduce a true trailblazer, Dr. Patrick Brown. As an esteemed biochemistry researcher at Stanford University, Dr. Brown pioneered innovations that include using gene expression patterns to classify cancers. But what he may be best known for is in your grocery aisle, the plant-based burgers and meats developed by Impossible Foods, the company he founded to improve human health and reduce the impact of animal farming on climate change. Please welcome Dr. Patrick Brown.
Thank you, graduates and families, for letting me share this happy occasion with you. Many of you might be feeling what I felt at my own graduation 45 years ago. Optimistic, excited, and curious about my future, but with no clear idea what I'd be doing in 10 years. Early in my adult life, I meandered into what I thought was the best gig in the world. I was a professor leading a research group at Stanford Medical School, and my only job was to follow my curiosity wherever it might lead, make inventions and discoveries, and help my students do the same. As a scientist, I was constantly looking around for new mysteries and new areas to explore, so that time and again, I was back to being a beginner, an outsider, in a new field and tackling a new problem I didn't know how to solve. A naive outsider can look at a subject with fresh eyes, unbiased by the prevailing assumptions, and see things that an expert ignores. Stanford really was a dream job, and I was having a blast. But I couldn't help being aware and concerned that our planet, the only planet in the entire universe known to support life, was facing two equally dire threats: a relentless increase in heat-trapping greenhouse gases and a catastrophic collapse of global biodiversity. I guess I subconsciously assumed that somebody else, some benevolent entity more qualified than me, was responsible for saving us from all these disasters. Our government, maybe, the UN, NGOs, Santa Claus, who knows? I could do my small part, but this enormous planetary scale problem was surely not my problem to solve. After all, I'm not a climate scientist or an ecologist, and I don't get to write laws or treaties. Then about 12 years ago, it finally dawned on me that actually nobody else out there was solving these problems. There is no global climate czar or benevolent protector to save us from these disasters. I'm even starting to have my doubts about Santa Claus. Our society and our planet are facing many difficult problems, and we all need to recognize that nobody owns the job of solving them any more than you do. What can we do about it? Start by recognizing that the real problem is actually not that people love the foods that we make using animals. It's that we still use animals as our technology to make them. I was pretty sure that with a scientific approach, we could understand the biochemistry that underlies the flavors and textures and other valued properties well enough to create meat, fish, and dairy foods from sustainable plant ingredients that are more delicious, nutritious, and affordable than anything today's animal-based technology can make. If we could do that, then just by competing in the marketplace, we could make the animal-based food system obsolete. There was one little problem, though. By any reasonable standard, I was unqualified to take this on. I had never had any interest in the business world, very little interest in food, and knew next to nothing about either. But I had the great advantage of being a beginner and an outsider. So I walked away from a secure job that I loved to try something that reasonable people were sure would end in disappointment and failure. A project I didn't know how to do, and a problem I didn't know how to solve. But it might succeed, and if I didn't try, I would fail by forfeit. The worst thing you can do is to look for reasons not to try. Just do the experiment. So I did. I founded a company called Impossible Foods with a singular, insanely ambitious mission to turn back the clock on climate change and reverse the collapse of biodiversity by completely replacing the use of animals in the global food system by 2035. I've since been joined on this mission by hundreds of brilliant colleagues. We don't have a roadmap, and we know we'll encounter many disappointments and failures on the way to our goal, but we blast ahead. 45 years after my own graduation, I'm as optimistic and excited and curious about what the future holds as I was then, and I'm still just a beginner. You are about to inherit the best planet in the universe. Please take better care of it than my generation has. It's not somebody else's job, it's your opportunity. And now, congratulations, you've done it, you've graduated. Your future is waiting for you. Make it count.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Members of the class of 2021, the moment you have been waiting for all morning and working towards for years is now here. The degrees in course will now be conferred. Mr. President, it is my privilege to report to you that the candidates assembled here have qualified in all respects for the degrees in course. They have successfully completed curricula offered by the several schools and colleges of Northeastern University and have been recommended by the faculty and the Council of Deans to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. The candidates will be presented to you by the academic deans. After they have been presented, members of the graduating class joining us here today in Boston, across our global campuses and from around the world, in each school or college, will please remain standing until their degrees have been conferred. To begin, I would like to invite Gregory Abaud, Dean of the College of Engineering, to come forward.
Candidates for bachelor's degree in the College of Engineering, will you please rise? Mr. President, I am very pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science with specification.
Mr. President, I would like to invite Raj Echambadi, Dunton Family Dean of the Damore McKim School of Business, to come forward.
Thank you. We are honored to have with us here the benefactors behind the Damore McKim School of Business. Please join me in recognizing Rich Damore, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and Alan McKim, Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees. Now, will the candidates for the bachelor's degree from the Damore McKim School of Business please rise? Mr. President, I have the privilege of presenting the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Science with specification. Thank you.
Mr. President, I would like to invite Carmen Skepa, Dean of the Bouvet College of Health Sciences, to come forward.
The candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Bouvet College of Health Sciences, please rise. Mr. President, I have the honor to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelors of Science with specification.
Mr. President, I would like to invite Carla Broadley, Dean of the Curry College of Computer Sciences, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Corey College of Computer Sciences please rise? Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science with specification, or Bachelor of Arts with specification. Congratulations. We're so proud of you. Go out and do wonderful things.
I would like to invite Elizabeth Hudson, Dean of the College of Arts, Media and Design, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Arts, Media and Design please rise? Hello, Candy. Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, or Bachelor of Landscape Architecture. Congratulations, CAMD graduates.
Mr. President, I would like to invite Hazel Siv, Dean of the College of Science, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Science please rise? Mr. President, I am delighted and honored to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts. Congratulations to you all.
Mr. President, I would like to invite Uta Poiger, Dean of the College of Social Sciences and Humanities, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor in the College of Social Sciences and Humanities please rise? Congratulations to all of you. We are so proud. Mr. President, it is my great honor to present to you the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science. Congratulations again, class of 2021.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of this university, I confer upon you and all those who have properly qualified the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts with specification, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, Bachelor of Science, or Bachelor of Science with specification, according to the department in which you have qualified, with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Graduates, I salute you, and I want you to look at your families and friends and partners. Let them enjoy the fact that now you are officially graduates, and let them take a picture of you.
Will all graduates please be seated? The pandemic has reaffirmed both the importance of science and the necessity of coordinated public health measures. In the US, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention represents the nexus of these two things. It is my great honor and privilege to introduce the CDC's new director, Dr. Rochelle Walensky. Dr. Walensky plays a leading role in managing the federal government's efforts to control the COVID-19 pandemic, including overseeing the nation's massive vaccination program. Previously, she served as chief of the Division of Infectious Diseases at Massachusetts General Hospital and professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School. Please welcome Dr. Rochelle Walensky.
Congratulations to you, the 2021 graduating class of Northeastern University. Pause, look around at this stadium and celebrate this moment. While magnificent, I am certain it is not what you envisioned when you started on this experience. This is a pivotal moment for each of you, strengthened by your failures, defined by your successes, and enriched by everything you have learned and every way you have grown these past years. As you look around at your friends and colleagues in your caps and gowns, know that you are looking at the future. You are a group who will go anywhere and do anything and will be forever bound by the Northeastern connection. Today is the beginning of your journey. As you graduate today and head off into the world, I am here to urge all of you to embrace the journey that is in front of you. The destination for each of you may be quite different, but you now have the knowledge, skills, inner strength, and resilience to make the voyage ahead. I am honored to serve as the 19th director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the nation's public health protection agency at such a critical time. When I was in your shoes, I can promise I would have never expected to be here. But you become who you are because of pivotal moments in your education and your training. I have had a number of such central moments that have shaped my career. First, my medical training in the 1990s at an inner-city hospital full of patients dying of AIDS. No treatment yet available and hope running thin for doctors and patients alike. I never thought I would be an infectious disease physician, but these disease and these patients, their clinical and personal stories captured me. Next, my time learning the study and practice of public health, acknowledging the important work that can be done at the intersection of social justice, equity, and health. And most recently, COVID-19, a global public health crisis that has impacted us all. I want to use the time I have with you today to humbly share with you some lessons I have learned from these moments in my career and hope they will help you along your path, no matter where it will take you. First, connect with the work in front of you. If you find yourself intrigued, ask more questions. If you find yourself motivated, push harder. If you discover something unexpected, consider following further down the path. It is your turn to move the world in new directions, discover new heights, and drive innovation. Second, remember to think of everyone. No matter what you do, be inclusive in your work. Provide for those who rarely receive the support they need and care for your community. We are all aware of the systemic inequities that have led to unacceptable disparities in our society. We can no longer just document this problem. Our job together is to fix it. And to do so, we have to be willing to be open, to learn, and to listen to others' lived experiences and their perspective because of them. You can be the change agents we need. You can make a difference, one person at a time, one act at a time. Third, ask the big questions, the ones that move your field, the questions that challenge the norm and that have the greatest impact. The answers are often slow to come and the path frustrating. Try to be undeterred by the failures. Instead, love the pursuit. It is the pursuit of those answers that is your mission. And as your resume grows with a list of your successes, remember that it is in your failures that you will grow the most. Fourth, travel this path with colleagues who become friends. Surround yourself by those who are smarter than you, complementary and yet different in your skill sets, and let yourself strive bigger because they are, letting go of your pride and competition. Travel together in the spirit of discovery. And finally, aim big. As you take every next step, every next job, every next endeavor, remember you should be nervous. If you are not thinking even just for a minute that you might be biting off a bit too much, you are not aiming big enough. And I remind myself of this every single day. I have a plaque on my desk among the very few things that traveled with me from my Mass General office. It sits there in Atlanta at CDC and it says, "Hard things are hard." It was given to me by a dear colleague who is now a dear friend, who helped me through some hard times. It's true. The challenges we face are often hard, but we can do hard things. You can do hard things. Your journey and your story are, in many ways, just beginning. It's your commencement. As you look ahead of you, remember that it is okay if the view is obscured in the mist. What matters is that you keep moving down the path, enjoying the view, even if it is currently hazy. I wish you all the greatest success on your path, and I have so much confidence that you are up to the challenges ahead. Thank you for all you will do, and all you will achieve, and all the ways you will work to make this world better for everyone in it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Walensky. I'm Alan McKim, Vice Chair of Northeastern's Board of Trustees. Class of 2021, congratulations on all that you have achieved, and it's really an honor to be here. As a graduate of Northeastern, I can assure you that alumni are important members of the Northeastern family. Therefore, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Ezgi Kozarazi Azalu, Chair of the Young Alumni Advisory Board. Please welcome me in welcoming, excuse me, please join me in welcoming Ezgi to the podium.
Graduates, we salute your temerity, your drive, and your resilience during a year like no other. You have persisted through unthinkable challenges, and you have made it to earn your degree and join our robust, diverse, and vibrant Northeastern community. As your next generation of trailblazing pioneers, you will change the way we think, communicate, and experience the world around us. Your potential is virtually limitless, and your ambition is unrelenting. Not only are you accomplished and gifted members of the class of 2021, you are a part of a thriving Northeastern network that is making an impact around the globe. Here to welcome you to this network are members of our 50th reunion class of 1971 and other fellow Golden graduates joining us for today's celebration. Golden graduates, would you please stand as you are able and let us congratulate these members here today and joining us virtually. Golden graduates, I present to you our newest class of alumni. I hope they will remain as engaged with the university as you are, representing a diverse and inclusive community of this generation's best and brightest. As you know, Northeastern's alumni network spans many generations and geographies, cultures, and careers. With alumni, parents, and students living in more than 190 countries, you are empowered to build connections and play an active role in enhancing the Northeastern network worldwide. Please direct your attention to the video screens for a special welcome from alumni representing just a few of our communities around the globe.
Dear graduates, you are bold, you are resilient.
أنتم مرنون أنتم صناع التغيير.
आज इस खुशी के दिन पर मेरी तरफ से आप सबको बहुत बहुत बधाइयाँ.
A la fecha han logrado tanto y su futuro presenta oportunidades infinitas.
Welke weg je ook inslaat, onthoud dat jullie connectie met Northeastern levenslang is.
כי לכל פעם בחייכם יש הסקי קרוב, יש הסקי בסביבכם.
在这次途中，别忘了母校将是你们最强的后盾。今天，你们加入了东北大学在全球27万的校友大家庭。
Báwo-ni, ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ kúṣẹ́.
Bundan sonraki yolculuğunuzun bir parçası olmaktan gurur duyuyoruz.
Félicitations et bienvenue.
And congratulations.
Félicitations.
הרבה מזל טוב.
مبروك ومرحبا بكم class of 2021.
The Office of Alumni Relations will keep connections strong with your lifelong Northeastern community. Use it to continue learning, access career strategies, engage with thought leaders and idea generators, and find the resources you need to achieve what's next. And now, to recognize the tradition of the Northeastern Alumni Pin. For those wearing your red alumni pin, think of this each time you see it. This pin symbolizes your determination, resilience, and success, as well as your inclusion in a new Northeastern experience as alumni. I am thrilled to welcome you into the Northeastern Alumni Network and eagerly anticipate watching all of your stories unfold. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, Ezgi. Will all graduates please rise? Those receiving their first degree today will now shift their tassel to the left side of their cap. We invite the audience to stand and join Annabelle Kearney in singing the Alma Mater, accompanied by the Northeastern University Brass Quintet. Words and music are displayed on the screens.
O
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, since your loved ones are here standing, it's your turn to take pictures of them for 30 seconds. Please turn around and take pictures of their families, friends, loved ones, because they have been taking many pictures of you. And then I'll give you the charges. Great. Wonderful. Please be seated. Class of 2021. This is your time, your moment, your opportunity. Your charge is to take your Northeastern experience and apply it to your passions, wherever your passions lie, in science and discovery, caregiving and healing, uncovering the truth, creating art that inspires. And I urge you not to pursue these passions alone. What we have learned this year especially is how the Northeastern community supports and uplifts us all. Remember that you will always be part of this community. Wherever your journey takes you, Northeastern is your lifelong home. Go forth, create, innovate, make change, and always keep the music of Northeastern in your hearts. Graduates, congratulations. I salute you. Bravo. Now, when it comes to making music, I could spend all day trying to describe what that jazz band in that backyard sounded like. But like everything else, it is better if you experience it yourself. Here they are, Zeke, Martin, and the Oracle. Enjoy.
Will the audience and our newest alumni please remain seated for the recession of the President's Party?
Thank you all for attending today's commencement. At this time, the ceremony has concluded. We ask that you please make your way to the exits. Thank you and get home safely.